here's a riddle for you. What is worse than spending months or years growing out your gray hair? The answer is spending months or years growing out your gray hair only to find out that you don't like it. Luckily, I have polled my readers and the vast majority of them are happy with the gray hair that Mother Nature gave them. But if you are not one of those people, don't feel bad. I'm here to help. There are things you can do if you don't want to go back to the dye. Now, if you've been here before, you recognize my pug Apollo, and I just want to warn you, if you haven't seen him before, he snores through my videos, but I cannot put him in another room because he'll cry. So if you hear a little snoring, it's him. If you are still transitioning from gray hair to dyed hair, you might be looking in the mirror every day and you see those roots coming in and you think, oh God, I've made a mistake. What was I thinking? Maybe your roots look patchy like mine did. Maybe you feel like your gray coming in looks muddy or blah. You cannot predict at all what your hair will look like while it's still in transition. And the reason is you've got translucent hair mixed in there with colored hair, and the colored hair is reflecting off the translucent hair and it's muddying the waters. So you're not going to get an accurate prediction of what your hair color looks like until that colored hair is cut off. I grew out my gray hair for 2.5 years so that it could be shoulder length. And even when I still had just a little bit of dye down here, it affected my perception of what the rest of my color looked like. I know it sounds crazy, but believe me, if you've gone through a long hair, cold turkey transition, I'm sure you can agree with me. That's the case. So patience is key. You just have to trust the process and wait until all your dyed hair has been cut off to see how you like it. Now, of course, you also might grow it out and feel like, I don't know what to think. But before you decide to head straight back to the dye bottle, just give yourself a few weeks or a month to get used to how your hair looks once all the dye has been cut off, and then decide what to do next. I'm hopeful that you'll love it, but if you don't, head on to the next section of this video and I'll give you some tips for women who are fully gray and are not happy with their color. Before we do that, I want you to head down to my show notes. Just click on the show more box at the bottom of my video under the title, and I'm going to put a link to an optical illusion in there. It's a fantastic illustration of what I'm talking about. So what do you do if you've already gone gray and you aren't happy with the results? I do think that the vast majority of time, Mother Nature gives you the shade of gray that suits your complexion, but you might not feel the same. So here are some of the common complaints I hear from my readers. I've gotten emails from readers who feel that their shade is too much like a gunmetal gray, like a battleship gray, and not silver like they were hoping. They wanted some sparkles, they wanted some tinsel. I also hear from women who are shocked that they have less gray hair than they thought. They'd spent 20 years dyeing their hair only to find out they really didn't have hardly any gray hair. And now they're at the stage of life where they actually want it. So there are 2 solutions available for these issues. They do involve the assistance of a hairdresser. The first solution that many women use is highlights. With highlights, a hairdresser uses bleach to lighten sections of your hair, and this can lead to damage or brassiness over time, but for many women, they are willing to take that risk because they want to do something different with their gray hair. The other solution is balayage. I hope I'm saying that correctly. That is a form of highlights where the hairdresser hand paints sections of your hair to lighten it, and it produces more of a subtle effect. I am going to share with you in the show notes, and maybe here if I can figure out how to do it, a clip that Monique Parent did when she used balayage on her hair, and the results were very nice. Just remember, if your gray hair is not as gray or as white or as silver as you wanted it to be, it will most likely change over time as more and more of your hair goes translucent as you age. And that is one of the most fun parts of this whole process of going gray, is you get to see your hair patterns and your hair color change over time. My hair right now is more of a silver color. I don't know if you can tell with this lighting I have. And it's a lot of translucent hair mixed in with dark hair underneath. And that kind of creates, I think, more of a silver tone. But as I age, I'm fully expecting my hair to go fully translucent, which means it will be completely white, and that will be fun too. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Speaking of white hair, I often hear from women who feel like their hair is too white. I personally, once again, find white hair beautiful. It looks like cotton. I think it's gorgeous. But some women aren't happy with their hair being so white. They feel like it's one-dimensional. If that is the case, you can always consider getting lowlights. In case you don't know what lowlights are, which I did not know for a long time myself, lowlights are when a hairdresser deposits darker color onto lighter strands of hair. It creates dimension and drama, and many women feel like it gives a little oomph to their white hair. I'll share some pictures up here with you that show you what lowlights look like. If you are not feeling happy with your hair and you feel like it's too white, Lowlights could be a great option for you. If you don't mind spending a little time and money and adding more chemicals to your hair, this could be a great solution. If you don't want to go to the hairdresser and you prefer to do something on your own, you can always use Manic Panic, as Monique Parent did in this video. She used Manic Panic Blue Steel mixed with some pastelizer, just applied it with a brush, and it really did add some dimension to her hair. If you're having a bad hair day or you feel like your hair is just looking a little blah, you can always try a color depositing conditioner for a hint of temporary color just to get through this hard time. The two that I've heard especially good things about are Cara Color Conditioner, which is hard to say, and the Moroccan Oil Color Depositing Mask. Both of them are temporary and will rinse out over time. Just be cautious, test your hair first, only do it on the ends, see how long it takes to rinse out. If you took all the precautions but you still end up staining your hair somehow, you can try using the Quicksilver Hair Clay Kit. Just use it a few times and it should take the color out. One of the number one fears that women have about going gray is they feel like their gray hair washes them out. Usually gray hair brightens your complexion, but maybe you feel a little drab or blah and you're just not used to it, or you really do honestly feel like the gray hair is washing you out. If that's the case, you can do things that don't involve going to the hairdresser. If you don't want to, you can refresh your wardrobe, pick out colors that are more suitable for your complexion and for your shade of gray hair. You can also try new makeup colors, makeup shades. If you don't like makeup, make sure your skin looks great and healthy and hydrated. That can really make a huge difference in making you glow and not look so washed out. A great haircut goes a million miles. My hair personally, I think is too long right now. I'm getting a little tired of it and I don't have time to style it, so I'm probably gonna chop most of it off to about here soon, just for a change of pace. And we all know how great that can feel. It's also a little scary, but sometimes you just have to do it. So if you're feeling like your gray hair is a little blah, get a great haircut. Find a good stylist. Maybe try something different. Maybe you've worn long hair your whole life and you want to try a short pixie cut. Maybe you've had short hair your whole life and you want to try a little longer. Just try something new. The world's your oyster. If you're not happy with your gray hair, you might want to consider the products you're using. Maybe they're not right for your hair type. I suggest you go to my next video, which is all about the best products for gray hair, including my favorites. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Take care. Thanks.